What if the biggest change in business isn't happening because of a recession, or a new government policy, or even artificial intelligence? What if the real shift is something much bigger, something that's quietly changing how America's largest companies invest, hire, compete, and grow? A shift so significant that it could define the next decade of business. Most people won't recognize it until it's already transformed entire industries. But corporate America already sees it. That's why companies are changing strategies, spending billions on new technology, rebuilding supply chains, investing in domestic manufacturing, and racing to modernize faster than ever before. This isn't another short-term business trend, it's a long-term transformation. And if history is any guide, the companies that adapt early will be the ones leading the market years from now. So what's driving this massive shift? It starts with one simple realization. For decades, businesses optimized for one thing above everything else: efficiency. If production could be moved somewhere cheaper, companies moved it. If costs could be reduced, they reduced them. If inventory could be minimized, they minimized it. The goal was simple: produce more while spending less. That strategy built some of America's biggest corporations. But over the last several years, cracks began to appear. Global supply chains became less predictable. Shipping costs surged. Geopolitical tensions increased. Extreme weather disrupted production. And businesses discovered that being efficient didn't always mean being resilient. Suddenly, the cheapest solution wasn't always the smartest one. That realization changed corporate thinking. Today, resilience is becoming just as valuable as efficiency. Instead of asking, how do we cut another dollar from our costs? Many executives are asking, how do we make sure our business can keep operating no matter what happens? That single question is changing investment decisions across nearly every major industry. Manufacturers are diversifying suppliers instead of relying on one region. Retailers are carrying more inventory than they once considered necessary. Technology companies are building larger cloud networks and AI infrastructure. Healthcare companies are strengthening domestic production of critical supplies. Energy companies are investing in more reliable and flexible power systems. These decisions often cost more in the short term, but businesses increasingly see them as investments rather than expenses. Technology is accelerating this transformation. Artificial intelligence isn't simply making companies more productive, it's changing how decisions are made. Businesses can now analyze customer demand more accurately, predict supply chain disruptions earlier, automate routine operations, optimize logistics in real time, and identify risks before they become costly problems. Instead of reacting to change, companies are trying to anticipate it. That's a completely different way of operating. Another major shift is where companies are investing. For years, many businesses prioritized expanding physical locations. Today, they're investing heavily in digital infrastructure, cloud computing, cybersecurity, automation, advanced analytics, artificial intelligence. These investments may not always be visible to customers, but they're becoming the foundation of how modern businesses compete. The workforce is changing too. Companies are no longer measuring success by the number of employees they hire. They're measuring productivity. Technology now allows smaller teams to accomplish work that once required much larger organizations. That doesn't eliminate the need for people. It changes the kind of work people do. Routine tasks are increasingly automated. Creative thinking, problem-solving, strategy, customer relationships. These human skills are becoming even more valuable. The competition for talent is changing as well. Businesses aren't just looking for technical expertise. They're looking for employees who can adapt as technology continues evolving. Learning has become a competitive advantage. Companies capable of continuously developing new skills inside their workforce are positioning themselves for long-term success. Customer expectations have evolved too. People expect faster service, personalized experiences, reliable delivery, continuous product improvements. Businesses that fail to meet those expectations risk losing customers almost instantly. That has forced companies to innovate continuously instead of relying on occasional breakthroughs. Perhaps the biggest change is how executives think about growth. For years, the goal was to maximize quarterly performance. Today, many corporate leaders are making investments that may not deliver meaningful returns for several years. These are long-term bets designed to prepare businesses for the future rather than simply improving next quarter's earnings. Investors are beginning to recognize this shift. While profitability still matters, many are paying closer attention to businesses with durable competitive advantages. Strong technology, reliable operations, financial flexibility, innovation, customer loyalty. These qualities increasingly separate companies built for the next decade from those focused only on the present. History suggests these moments don't happen often. The rise of personal computers transformed office work. The internet changed commerce, smartphones reshaped communication, cloud computing redefined software. Each transformation lasted for years and created entirely new industries. Today's business shift may prove just as significant. Artificial intelligence is only one piece of the puzzle. The larger story is that companies are fundamentally changing how they operate. They're building stronger foundations, reducing dependence on outdated business models, preparing for greater uncertainty, and investing in capabilities that can support growth for years to come. Of course, not every company will succeed. Some will move too slowly, others will invest in the wrong areas, and some will struggle to adapt as markets continue evolving. But history consistently rewards businesses that recognize major shifts before everyone else. That's why so many of America's biggest companies are changing direction today. They're not responding to a temporary trend, they're preparing for a different future. A future where resilience matters as much as efficiency, where technology drives every industry, where adaptability becomes one of the most valuable corporate assets, and where businesses capable of evolving continuously are the ones most likely to lead. The next decade won't belong to the companies that simply continue doing what worked in the past. It will belong to the businesses willing to rethink how they compete before they have to. Because the business shift happening today isn't just another cycle, it could become the defining transformation of the next 10 years. And the companies building for that future are already moving.